What's up, travellers? Welcome back to the channel. SJ Aviation HQ here, and welcome back to the channel today. Today we have the model review of the Etihad Airways Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner released by NG Models. Beforehand, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below, a great indication of what you see in today's video and of course the content here on this channel. And to support my channel even further and to help me out in general, go ahead and subscribe to the channel below. Whilst you're there, ding the bell icon to receive notifications as soon as the videos go live onto the channel. Be the first ones to come on and to view the videos as soon as they go live, of course. So here we have the Etihad Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner model review for you guys today. This model here was released by NG Models in their April 2024 release. This model here featured in my 2024 in review video celebrating my collection for last year. Check it out, top right corner, and right about now for you guys. So going into today's review, before I showcase the box for you guys, I'm going to read out some information about Etihad Airways as an airline, and then some information about the particular airframe, and then after showcasing the box, I will then proceed to show you the model. So founded on July the 11th of 2003, Etihad Airways is one of two flag carriers of the United Arab Emirates, the other of course being Emirates. Etihad Airways commenced operations from their main airport hub at Abu Dhabi Zayed International Airport in November of 2003, and is the second largest airline in the UAE, or United Arab Emirates, after the Dubai based carrier Emirates. According to planespotters.net, Etihad Airways has a fleet of 114 aircraft, including 47 of the Boeing 787 Dreamliners. That makes up 37 of the 787-9s and 10 of the Boeing 787-10s. Called the Facets of Abu Dhabi, the current livery was unveiled in September of 2004 on Etihad's first ever Airbus A380 aircraft, which has now unfortunately been scrapped and made into those little tags now. The gold colour of the fuselage was inspired by the Arabian Desert. So for those who didn't know that, so very cool. And some information about this particular airframe now for you guys. This aircraft's MSN number or manufacturer serial number is 42369. This aircraft has the line number of 858, which means this aircraft here was the 858th 787 Dreamliner to roll off the production line at Boeing. This aircraft is a 6.5-year-old Boeing 787-9, which performed its first flight on June the 8th of 2019. Built and produced at Charleston, South Carolina. So that's where the main 787 Dreamliner production line is now. Of course, I do still have the production line where they originated at Everett Plainfield, but of course the majority of the 787 production line is now in Charleston, South Carolina. And of course, this aircraft is currently active on the network for Etihad Airways, wearing the registration of Alpha 6 Bravo Lima Zulu, or A6-BLZ, for those that aren't too familiar with the phonetic alphabet, of course. Again, being a Boeing 787-9, this aircraft here was delivered to Etihad Airways on June the 19th of 2019, and is equipped with two General Electric Gen X-1 Bravo engines, specifically the Gen X-1 Bravo 74/75 engines. And this aircraft was ferried between Charleston International Airport and Abu Dhabi Zayed International Airport between June the 20th and 21st of 2019 on its delivery flight. So very cool indeed. With that information out of the way, let's go ahead and check out this ever stunning box. So as you can see, it is an absolutely gorgeous box. I love the artwork in the background, of course, to represent what's on the tail fin there. Very cool indeed. So here we have in the top of the box, spanning across the top, we have where it says this is a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. Of course, the -9 being the middle variant of the 787 family, because we have the -8 the Dash 9, and of course, as I mentioned, the Dash 10, the Dash 10 being the longest variant. Very cool. Here we have in the middle of the box, we can see the 2D rendering of the Etihad 787-9, looking absolutely stunning indeed. Here we have at the bottom, we have the Etihad logo there, both in Arabic and where it says, what we see on the aircraft. And below that we have the registration Alpha 6-Bravo Lima Zulu, and where it says here that this was produced under license from Boeing. And very cool indeed. And here we have the NG Models logo here and the 400 scale die-cast metal details there. On the bottom panel we have where it says that it is a 787-9 on the top here. NG Models logo in white in the bottom corner. Then we have the 2D rendering of the aircraft and the registration below that, so very cool. And then the barcode with the item number on it, so that's very nice indeed. Here we have where it says on the right hand panel that is a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner on the top, the NG Models logo in white again, and the Etihad logo. Would have liked that this would have been maybe gold, so it would be able to be seen, much like this one here. But well, not going to be too picky on that. And here we have the details that says that is a wonderful scale collectible model in die-cast metal. These details are pretty much identical to the bottom side. Only difference is of course the background. And here we have the same details on the right panel, this being the left panel of the box. Okay, the only difference being the background of the box there. And here we have where it says on the bottom panel that this is an NG Models aircraft here. And then in the middle we have the 2D rendering of the stunning Etihad 787-9, and then the promotion of the social networks on Facebook, Instagram, and of course their website, and where it says the licensing for Boeing, the item number on the barcode, and then the very comical warning information there, a warning at the three ends there. Very interesting. And then we have where it states that this is a 14 plus aircraft model and made in China. I believe NG Models are based in Guangzhou. Of course, that being the main hub for China Southern Airlines, not too far away from Hong Kong, of course. Let me know in the comments below what you got from the NG Models December 2024 or November 2024 as it was held earlier this year. The redemption event, the exchange event. Let me know in the comments below what you got from that. I got 2 models from that redemption event, which I'll let you guys know of when those in due course, or my information of that would probably be out on my Instagram by now, so go ahead and check that out. The Instagram in the top left, in the pinned comment in the comments below, and of course in the description below as well. So that's this portion done for you guys, the reading out of the airline's details, and of course the aircraft as well, and the showcasing of the box. So let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning Etihad Airways Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner released by NG Models in their April 2024 release. Now in this portion of this video, I'm going to showcase the model up close to the camera for you guys, giving you some nice up close shots of each of the components on board this aircraft, and of course the details on this model as well, and of course give you some information about each of the components I mentioned before whilst in the event of flight. So let's go ahead and dive in straight into the review of this model. Zooming into the model first and foremost, and of course then getting the model up close for you guys. Now here is a nice view of this absolutely stunning model. Now I'm not usually critical about my 787s, because I mean 787s are my favorite aircraft because, of course, but I mean, one thing I do not like about this model, if there was a negative about it, is the glittery effect done on the fuselage. I would have preferred had NG Models gone ahead and just made it a straight color, much like how JT Wings went ahead and did their livery, or their rendition of it. Because I do have the ADNOC choose the USA livery. If you would like to see me do a model review of that one, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll go ahead and do so for you if I haven't done so already, of course. But anyway, that's really the only thing I really am opposed to liking in terms of this, on the details on this model. But anyway, let me know if you agree in terms of that opinion in the comments below. So anyway, moving forward into today's video, here we have the nose cone of the aircraft, if I can get it to focus again. There it is. Underneath that is a component called the weather radar. Now that is a component on board this aircraft, or any aircraft that is used to detect the storms along the flight path of a given flight, to give the pilots a visual indication of the rainfall intensity ahead of them, and of course the possibility of turbulence as well. This enables the crew, to navigate around any potential hazardous areas along the assigned flight plan for the flight that they're on. So very cool. And indeed, here we have a nice view of the window wipers, the window wipers, and of course the cockpit windows themselves, with the massive letter Z there. Of course, that being the last digit of this aircraft's registration, Alpha 6-Bravo Lima Zulu, of course. And of course, the emergency escape hatch just to the top left of that. So very cool. And indeed, I do like how NG Models have gone ahead and put that black outline around the window wipers there. Very nice. Sometimes there are brands that don't make the copper windows obvious. I mean, you know where they are essentially, but they, especially if it's like the let's say the just thinking of one now, like the Etihad F1, Formula 1 livery that someone recently did. I had the Phoenix version of my collection, for example. The fuselage is pretty much identical color to the actual copper windows themselves, so it's pretty difficult to know where they are when you're not looking for them, of course. But anyway, here we have the flag of the United Arab Emirates here, very nice indeed. And then we have the angle of attack sensor just here, or the AOA sensor. Now that is used to offer a visual indication of the amount of lift the wings are generating at a given airspeed or angle of bank. Below that, of course, are the pitot tubes. Now they are there to measure fluid flow velocity during a flight. Then we have the nose gear door. The Lima Zulu is a little bit too low in my opinion, but I mean, they do the job as well. I do kind of feel like that the nose gear doors themselves aren't exactly in accurate shape for some reason. Maybe I'm being a little bit too picky there, but it does look a little bit off. But anyway, here is the L1 boarding door, the first of the main boarding doors on this aircraft. Of course, the second one would be right here below the A of Etihad. Now, I'm not too sure what that small black detail is. I can't read it from the naked eye, and I can't really make it out whilst looking at it through this screen here. So let me know what this could be. If you know what it is, thank you. Here we have the Arabic titles for Etihad here, and then we have the English rendition of Etihad's titles here, nicely done in gold. And then we have the first antenna, and then we have the SATCOM, the Wi-Fi dome. This provides the IFE inflight entertainment on board the aircraft, seen behind each of the seats and those TVs there. Now, there is no beacon light on top of the fuselage here. There's a common occurrence on NG Models aircraft that I've noticed anyway. I think the beacon light would be located around here on the 787, or it could be further back. But you just can't, you know, that is something that needs to be on a model, especially with it being such an essential piece of an aircraft. There is one on the bottom of the aircraft, which is there, but you would think engine models would put it on the top, as I mentioned, an essential part used to identify whether the engines are about to be turned on or running in general. Now here we have the slogan of Etihad here, from Abu Dhabi to the world. Very nice. And then we have the pedostatic system here that is used to determine an aircraft's airspeed, Mach number, altitude, and altitude trend. So very cool. And indeed, should be a landing light just here. So not a landing light, this is the wing light here. That is used to light up the tail, the wing, or the leading edge of the wing during night operations or dark conditions. So very cool. And then we have the engine. This is this side's Gen X1 Bravo engine here, of course, on this aircraft, the 74-75 variant of the Gen X1 Bravo engine. And of course, then here we have the nice chevrons of the nacelle here, very iconic for the 787 series. Also seen on the 747-8 Intercontinental and Freighter variants, and also now seen on the 737 MAX series as well, the 7, 8, 9, and also the 10. So very nice. And indeed, now here we have the landing light on the mounted landing light onto the wing. There's also one on the front of the nose gear strut. So very cool. This is a component that on the aircraft that is the mandatory use within 0 and 10,000 feet, especially when the aircraft is either landing into an active runway or departing an active runway. So very cool. Very nice indeed. And then we have the vortex generator that is there to deflect any airflow against the leading edge of the wing directly behind the engine. So right here, pretty much. Very cool indeed. This is what produces that little vapor trail that you see whilst the aircraft is rotating out of an airfield. Here we have a nice look of the aircraft's wing here. Of course, the slats at the forward part of the wing, the leading edge, and then we have the flaps at the trailing edge. Very nice indeed. And then here we have the rate wingtip, one of my favorite components of the 787 Dreamliner. I've heard that the 787's rate twin tips can reach up to 12 feet, upwards of 12 feet when the aircraft's wings are flexing on rotation, which is quite outstanding, really. It's quite a beautiful sight. The wing profile of the 787 is quite something to behold, and yeah, one of my favorite components of the 787 series. Here we have this side's red navigation light. You'll see in a moment that the other side has the red navigation light, and next to that would be the LED white strobe lights there that flash once in sequence for a Boeing. If this aircraft was an A350, A330neo, 320neo, etc., that the strobe lights would flash twice in sequence. So very cool. And indeed, of course, the strobe lights are used when the aircraft is in flight and also crossing an active runway, or again, just about to depart an active runway as well. Here we have a nice look of the flaps and details on the wing here, looking quite outstanding, if I say so myself. Just having a bit of issues with the focusing. Not too sure if it's the lighting in my room, not too sure if I say so myself. But here we have the landing gear of this aircraft. Now they do not tilt, but they do roll quite freely, if I say so myself. And here we have the L3 door on this aircraft. Not really a boarding door on this aircraft, but it's mainly used during emergencies, of course, where the little or the slides would fold out. Of course, the slides would be on each of the doors for an emergency, but of course, this door here not used for boarding. Here is where this states that this is a Dreamliner. Of course, the Dreamliner nickname, of course, is for each of all of the 787s. So very cool with the crescent moon logo there. I believe the 777-200LR is known as the Worldliner. So that's very nice indeed as well. Here we have the gold text for where it says the website of this airline, Etihad.com. The antenna on the bottom of the fuselage just here. Two more antenna on just before the leading edge or the beginning of the tail fin there. Registration of this aircraft, Alpha 6-Bravo Lima Zulu, just here, looking wonderful as ever. And then we have the fourth of the cabin doors on this aircraft here, on this side anyway. The L4 door, of course the letter L for this side, the doors on this side representing the word left, as of course this is the left-hand side of the aircraft. Then we have a little cargo compartment just here in the middle of the shot. Then we get to the nicely done tail fin of Etihad's facet of Abu Dhabi livery. Now that livery that I just mentioned, the facets of Abu Dhabi livery, was unveiled in September of 2014 on an Airbus A380 Alpha 6-Alpha Papa Alpha, which unfortunately has now been scrapped. I actually feel that the 380 is the aircraft in Etihad's fleet that suits this livery the most. I would say the 350-1000 is also on par, but I mean the 787s do the job in terms of this livery. Very nicely done indeed, if I say so myself. And of course, here is the elevators of this aircraft. You can make out the small silver dots there. They are the tail lights or the logo lights. They are there to light up the tail fin during night operations or dark conditions to give an identification to anyone who is in the control tower of identifying who the airline is. In this case would of course be Etihad Airways. Could of course also be helpful to as a marketing tool for anyone who is in or the outside of an airfield, of course, to give them the sense of wanting to fly the airline. Now here we have the APU, Auxiliary Power Unit, which is the full name of the APU abbreviation there. An additional engine on board the aircraft, so very cool indeed. To the side of the tail fin would also be where the APU inlet door would be. Little door that is like an exhaust for when the APU has been turned on. So very nice and indeed. Now, an easy way to identify that this aircraft is a -9, a variant of the 787, is counting how many windows are within the first few doors. Now, there's 14 doors. Windows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 windows in between the first two doors. On the -8, there are, I believe it's 9, and on the -10, I believe it is 19. I will put a graphic on the screen right about now for you guys to give you a nice helpful guide of identifying which of the variants is which. And I didn't mention before, but here is the coat of arms eagle for the United Arab Emirates. Not seen on Emirates Airlines, the Emirates as the airline itself, but of course as Etihad is pretty much the main flag carrier of the UAE. This is of course based in Abu Dhabi, which is the capital city of the United Arab Emirates. So that's why the coat of arms logo is on the aircraft. So very nice indeed. Let's have a wee look at the opposite side of the aircraft to see the differences on the side of the aircraft. Now here we have The first main difference is, of course, the from Abu Dhabi to the world slogan that was seen on the opposite side is Arabic on this side, opposed to English on the opposite side. Now here we have the forward baggage compartment on the front of this aircraft here. To the rear we can see the rear baggage compartment just below the website there. Very nice indeed. On this side's wing, we can make out that this is a green navigation light just here. Everything else is just really flipped around in terms of the details on this aircraft. That, of course, is with exception to the flag, which like every other aircraft that has a flag on it, the flag is not rotated around. Now let's have a wee sneaky peek at the bottom of the aircraft, the belly of the aircraft. Here we have the nose gear door. That, of course, is where the nose gear would either retract into or extend from. So very cool indeed. Here we have the belly titles of Etihad Airways, looking rather nice indeed in that gold font there, with, of course, the beacon light to the right hand side of the letter E. Then we have the stand hold just there, anyone who puts their 400 scale aircraft on a stand. And then we have the doors for which the landing gear doors would retract into. That red rectangle there is where the ram air turbine would be located. That small propeller-like device that folds down below the aircraft when that of course provides electronic help to the engines. Of course, in the event of an emergency, also seen during the testing of the aircraft as well. It's very nice indeed. Here's a nice look of the details on the bottom of the engines, looking rather nice, very detailed if I say so myself. Nice look of the landing gear again, and of course the bottom side of the wing. On this side of the wing we can see the registration. On the underside of this wing, Alpha 6 Bravo Lima Zulu. And then we get to the tailplane of the aircraft. We can see the entryway to the APU. This, of course, is the access doors for the ground engineers to access the APU when they are needing to fix it, of course, or attend to any, fixing of the APU. And that is pretty much it, guys. So thank you very much for coming along and tuning into today's video of the model review of this Etihad Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, of course, released by NG Models in the April 2024 release. If you did like what you saw, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below. It'd be a great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and, of course, the content here on this channel. Whilst you're there, support me even further by subscribing to the channel below, and again, go ahead and get the notifications on. Select the all option to make sure you get all the notifications as soon as the videos go live onto the channel. More videos are coming up very, very soon. More model reviews, unboxings, airport updates, and more. So stay tuned for that. Comment below what you enjoyed in today's video. Any feedback you would like to give me in terms of my model reviews here on this channel. If I did say so myself, if I gave my opinion of how much I like this model, I do feel like the tan color that is used on the fuselage, I feel like the model is a little bit too light, if I say so myself. And like I mentioned earlier in this portion of this video, I kind of feel like the glittery effect kind of ruins the authenticity of the model. But for my collection, the model does a good job. I should be acquiring an Etihad 787-10 in the very near future, so it'll be a nice comparison to what the fuselage colors look like in terms of the two variants. So very nice indeed. So if you would like to go along and support my whereabouts on social media, there is some links in the description below or in the pinned comment. But if you want to go ahead and go to straight to the links in one full place, go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. That will lead you straight to my Linktree account. And of course, that will also have my Instagram page, which is also linked in the description below for easier access. That's the one main place for all of my photos of my models, and of course the ins and outs of updates in terms of what I'm doing on social media. So go ahead and check that out if you wish to. Thank you very much in advance. Now that is the model review done for you guys of this Etihad 787-9 Dreamliner released by NG Models in their April 2024 release. If you did like what you enjoyed and want to go ahead and view more content like this, on the end screen will be some options for you guys. On the left hand side will be my most recent video here on this channel. On the right hand side will be the 4 playlist of model reviews I've done so far here on the channel. In the middle will be where you can subscribe. But until next time, guys, fly safe, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one.